I would say that the vast majority of chronic medical diseases, the vast majority of chronic inappropriate inflammation, and with emerging research, even the majority of mental health conditions and eating disorders look like they're all going to be intimately connected to the food that you eat and the food that you don't eat. And the vast majority of the problem is probably going to turn out to be highly processed food-like substances. And there's a psychiatrist here at this conference who specializes in eating disorders, and he says that food addiction is a misnomer. We should not call it that. It should be called ultra processed food addiction, because he's worked with hundreds of young people with food addiction, with anorexia, with bulimia, and he's never seen a single one of them have those symptoms when eating a carnivore diet, not a single time. And then there's also zero eating a meat-heavy carnivore diet where they eat low-carb veg, a few nuts, a few berries, and then lots of fatty red meat and eggs with the yolk. That's not the kind of food that people with eating disorders gravitate towards. And his hypothesis is that these eating disorders are caused, at least in part, by the misfunction of the human brain when you're feeding it an improper human diet. And I think he's going to turn out to be exactly right. But all you guys know that fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, obesity, depression, anxiety, autism, all these things improve when you're in some degree of ketosis, which you're going to be if you're eating a carnivore diet. And so, yeah, absolutely. If anybody watching this is suffering from any medical condition, I can guarantee you that eating a carnivore diet is not going to make it worse. And I can assure you that it's probably going to make it at least some degree better. So give it a try for 90 days. Love it. For me, it's getting up every morning really early and doing some research, having some coffee, and then Beckett and Bonnie get up way before I'm ready for them too. And every morning, right, I'm like, oh, they're up already. Dang it. But that's okay, because then we all go outside barefoot. Often the kids are half naked. We go out in the front yard. We get in the morning sun. We get our feet in the grass. We play around. We throw rocks. If there's a frog, we play with that. We just spend good time together. And then just family time all around. My time out in the pasture and in the woods, working on the farm, often with an Audible or a Kelly Hogan YouTube video in my ear, learning something new every day. That's a big part of my life, is learning continuously. And there's no shortage of things to learn. So there's no danger of me running out of stuff, because I don't know a lot. And then eating good meat every meal, once or twice a day, and then church on Sunday, and then repeat. And that's my happiness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And you guys never forget, it's Nisha that you need to thank for me having a YouTube channel, because if she hadn't basically shamed me into doing this, I wouldn't be on YouTube. And so that she gets all the credit for that. But it's my absolute pleasure to help people improve their health. That's kind of what I'm supposed to do, right? That's kind of, the definition of a doctor. And the fact that I can help thousands and thousands of people instead of just 20 or 30 a day in the clinic, to me, that's a blessing. I don't know if I can even explain how deep that goes. I'm never going to stop doing this. And I want you guys to know, Kelly Hogan and Carrie and all the rest of you guys, when you spread this message, you literally are saving more lives than some doctors do. Never forget that. Never forget that you don't know, because those YouTube videos, they're on out there 24/7, 365. And you never know when somebody's ready, when their heart's ready, when their mind's ready, when they've had that huge scare at the emergency room, or that huge scare they thought, oh, this is it, I'm going to have a heart attack, here we go. And then it turns out to be a false alarm. But when you get the hell scared out of you, that makes you go, okay, it's time for me to tighten up and get serious here. And then when you've got that friend like Carrie or like Kelly, it's like, yeah, go watch these videos. This will tell you what to do. That's priceless, right? For somebody who's ready. And so you guys are doing more good than you give yourself credit for. And I really need you to stop underselling what you're doing, because what you're doing is very, very important. and you're helping people, you're improving people's health, and you're literally saving people's lives by teaching them about a proper human diet. So I can never thank all you guys enough for what you do. And I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I'm going to keep fighting this with you. And it won't be too many more days before we'll hit a tipping point, and the phrase proper human diet will become a ubiquitous term on the tip of the tongue of every adult in America. And then we'll see what the powers that be do with that when that happens, because that's going to happen.